Now, why I decided to be a blind photographer? Well, I didn't decide it because I became a photographer when I already didn't have any vision left, or, well, I had this vision that I have now, which is around 1.5% and 2%. Some people say that I don't have any vision. I don't care. When I walk in a room and it's day and there is a window, I can see, okay, I can see where the light is coming from. I might not see what it is lighting up, but I'm see where the light is and where it's coming from. So for me, it's a proof that I still can see something. So that out of the way. So I became this when I already was seeing light and don't seeing other things like this. When I could see, when I had more vision, I used to paint and do stuff with my hands, and some clay and some artificial clay and some other materials. And I was offered, because I'm from Bulgaria, I'm living here, I was offered in one of the exhibitions that I had. I think it was the last one that I had before I lost my vision like massively. I got an offer from a high school on arts to be accepted without any admission exam, and I had to say no because I knew that somehow in the near future I'm going to lose a massive amount of vision, and I said no. And after that I stopped doing like visual stuff for like, I think, 2 years at least. But in meantime, I like my parents gave me the idea to combine the two things that I did when I could see more, which is training football, or soccer for those on the other side of the pond, and painting. And they combined it for me in acting. And there were teachers who agreed to teach me acting. So in a way, not in a way, I still think that me starting doing acting immediately after I lost my vision, it really helped me keep the way of thinking, which is highly visual. I don't know how to explain it otherwise. So I'm thinking highly visual and acting. And in acting, you have to think of where you are, relative to the things around you, relative to the things that you are interacting with, compared to the other actors that are on stage or on set with you. So I think that this helped me preserve my visual thinking and a way of imagining things in space, colors and shades and shapes and textures largely. So yeah, for 2 years I stopped doing painting at all. Then I started scribbling some things. I started doing some things with my hands, mushing some paper, attempting to color it in different ways. It was fairly interesting and nice for me because I knew I'm creating something visual, and it brought me a lot of good feelings. I felt capable, and I felt that whatever I'm envisioning in my head, I can achieve it, even though I cannot see it. So it was some kind of a gratitude towards my teachers, I guess, and some type of feeling, some kind of self-worthness or self-esteem. I don't know, but it felt like this. So I'm telling you how it felt. So when I was 17, I met an incredible person who is still in my life in a lot of ways. And she started painting when she was 4, and she never stopped like for 13 years. And she started pulling me back into creating visual stuff together with her and with her assistance. It was I was sharing with her what I want to do, and she was my narrator from the side. Am I doing this? Am I selecting the colors that I intended? How it looks, how the shapes are looking like. So we went very quickly back to reproducing shapes because some of the shapes are slipping, like at the moment where you're not controlling how your hand is moving precisely and what's the feedback of it, you're losing it. I mean, it's like the human brain functions like this. So you need assistance, you need correction, or you need some kinds of helping devices, shape keeping things. So she helped me do that. And a couple of years later, I learned of a photographer who is his father is Colombian and his mother is Bulgarian. So he grew up partially in Colombia, partially in Bulgaria. Then, with his wife, they went to work in the United States, and he started teaching blind photography when they came here in Bulgaria again. And I started getting some lessons from him. Then I got a couple of assignments together with photographers who could see. They were around awareness raising campaigns for people with other disabilities. And that led me to where I am now. I am working on my first exhibition. My style of creating visual art at the moment, because I cannot say that I'm doing only glitch photography. It's more like another incredible person around me is painting as well. She's painting from 6 years old, and this is her job. Actually, she works in the creative industry, in the creative executive sector of a advertising company. So she does this for work, but she does this when she's positively or negatively stressed even. So she likes painting and sketching and stuff like this. So when I started sharing with her what we are aiming at showing at this first exhibition of mine, and when she saw what we are attempting to do, she was like, "You have to call your style of photography sensory impressionism." And and I was like, okay, wow, yeah, I see, it makes sense. I learned painting as well, painting theory and painting history as well. That this makes sense, but I myself would never figure it out. So I guess I'm not calling myself a glitch photographer. I'm calling myself uh, uh, I have really big trouble with those complex wording stuff. So it's sensory impressionism. I'm sensory impressionist photographer and digital creator, and I found myself something quite fascinating for me. I found my the curator of my exhibition in a center which I'm visiting to go back to acting and to go back to artistic world. Because I worked for 5 years in the UN, then I worked for a year and a half in the IT industry, and I needed a way out of IT and policy making, and this was my cry for help, getting back to acting and creative stuff. and enjoying actually my first having free time, then enjoying my free time with creative activities. So she's still a student in photography and digital. I have hard times transcribing it into English. Digital visual arts. Let's keep it like that. With a emphasis on photography for her. And she was like, "Yeah, this sounds quite fascinating, but I want to tell you that this is going to be my first exhibition. I don't want to ruin something for you." And I'm like, "No, you are not ruining anything for me, because I like working with younger people." So currently, I'm 22. I'm 32. She's 22, and I I'm actually quite happy that my first curator of my first photography exhibition, because as I said to you, when I was a painter, I had already exhibitions, and so this is why I'm making this explicit like wording around my first photography exhibition. So I'm happy that the curator is a younger creative person and a young woman, and that because I do really have a really big trouble to communicate to male photographers and male colleagues why I am so impressed by alternative textures. We talked about textures when I started sharing you my experience around losing my vision and losing my will to create visual stuff. So for me, textures and shades, not the colors themselves, but the shades and the shapes of things are the driving force. I know it's constantly. I'm lit from the side. This is classical Dutch style painting from the 16th century, from the revolution in painting. So I'm not saying I'm not respecting anything related with lights, because if I didn't respect it, I would, keep you here and shoot into the light and keep myself backlit for the whole time. It's not that. It's just that even when I could see the shades of the colors themselves and the textures were the driving force around me, because really what's standing out when you're looking at a picture, when you are looking to a movie, when you're looking at a photography piece, it's it's the shades, it's the texture of the thing, it's the shapes, the 3D effect or the 2D effect of the different mediums that you are using to communicate your visual storytelling. This is what fascinates me. It's not only about light for me. I'm sorry if I'm disappointing someone, but this is very easy to be seen in my pictures, and I'm going to try to put some of those in this clip. So after the clip ends, you can stay to look at some of those. A lot of my pictures are horizontal, a lot of them are vertical. I think most of them are vertical, quite honestly. So the way that I'm shooting vertical photography makes more sense, because the first thing and the only thing which can describe me, actually what's in my visual field of view and how it's looking on the camera, is actually my iPhone. And yeah, sadly for now there are no cameras which can describe you what are you shooting at and what's your composition like. So currently it's that, and currently I guess because of that, I'm keeping my fascination with shades of colors, and shapes and textures. So this is why the impressionistic phase, because some of the photos that I'm making, some of the edits, like some of the messages that I want to get from my visual work, are centered around very trivial things like the coffee cup on your table. But I don't want to show you only the coffee cup. I want to show you in a certain way, in a certain sensory way that I'm feeling it. And for me, taking a nicely composed picture with a nice backdrop and with a nice follow off of colors and stuff like this, it's, I'm sorry to say it, but it's not that important as me taking the picture itself and me able to push it to where I want it to go through editing. I have my pictures which are raw, you know, with no editing. They are taken on a camera like this, like a traditional camera. There are no processing involved, you know. From my side, it's largely because currently we're shooting on my newest, not a full frame camera, but big camera. It's a Sony Alpha 6700. So with this Sony, I'm using the Sony photographic profile VV2 with some of my editions. So it's not the stock VV2 color profile or photographic profile, but it's edited to suit again more my style. So I have quite a lot of pictures like that with very minimal editing. I have others which are pushed very hard, and in order to see them more easily, actually, I'm encouraging you to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is going to be in the description of this video, and there you can scroll back and see at what I created and what I'm going to show at my exhibition, and you can follow me so that you can see the whole process around making the selections, calling my shots, working on them, and selecting them for the work which my curator has to do. Because it turned out that I like shooting more than calling photos and more than selecting photos for my exhibition. I know it should make me happy, and it does make me happy. I'm not saying I'm like, oh, it's boring, I just want to shoot and that's all, I don't want to bother with that. Obviously I want to bother with that because I started searching for a person like that, for a person who will suit my style and with whom I feel that they get me when I'm talking about what I want to relay out in the world. And I started searching for such a person 2 years ago. So pretending that I don't want to make this exhibition come true is a true lie, because you're not doing something for 2 years just to dismiss it. But yeah, when it came out to real selection of my real work, I was like, why it's so hard? I mean, in the next video, I'm going to show you how I'm doing that. But for now, follow me on Instagram and let's connect, and tell me what's more important for you in photography. Is it the classic light thing, or is it something else, just like it is for me? Thank you and have a very nice day. Like, share and follow and comment.